back to the channel, guys. So today I don't have any video from what we did this past weekend. It was a pretty slow weekend. So we're gonna go through some of the clips that I've kind of just been storing over the last month and a half or so. Either clips of stuff that just didn't fit in any of the videos that I've done recently, or some of these are clips of just really frustrating stuff I just didn't end up feeling like doing a video about. A whole bunch of fails, really. So this is going to be a bunch of examples of when things go wrong, what not to do. So the first ones that we're going to go through are of Bojangles. This is Crabtree's convertible Foxbody Mustang. Small block Ford, Procharger, and we do some interesting stuff with this one. We're using boost control. So I know I've mentioned it in the past, but it has more blower than we have a need for, and so we put in a solenoid controlled by the computer that controls one of the two blow-off valves on that pipe. And so we can go down in boost. Obviously you can't go up with it. That's just based on RPM with the blower. But yeah, we had a lot of growing pains initially, getting the setup to work right, but we got it to where it was starting to make some good passes, and we just honestly needed more time on it. We needed more passes on it. We were doing this car without, the new setup. We went straight to the track with it. I always say I like using the dyno. I like sorting out everything on the car before we go to the track, but if you don't have access to a dyno, you work with what you got. A lot of the stuff that we were troubleshooting on his car, we were troubleshooting it at the track. And when you go to the track and you may only get one or two passes, it becomes really frustrating and really slow going to solve some of these issues that would probably be a heck of a lot easier to identify and solve if you were sitting on the dyno making pass after pass. So anyways, a lot of these clips are from the flashlight shootout, and or testing for the flashlight shootout, and we were having an odd amount of issue trying to get his car to hook directly off of the hit. We pulled a ton of power out. Now, I know we were expecting the track surface to not be all that great because, the prep was going to be kind of between radial prep and big tire prep because they had a bunch of different classes. So we didn't expect the surface to be super sticky and stellar, but I mean, it was still XRP, it was still a decent surface. So it was really odd that we were having to pull so much power out of it. So we fought this for a while, what it ended up being in the end. And so I'll still show all of the clips and, kind of explain kind of what we were trying on each of these passes. But spoiler alert, it was the anti-roll bar the entire time. So his anti-roll bar arms that go out and have the links that go down to the rear end, they were basically almost resting on the body. And so any downward movement at all, it would just slam up against the body. And so it would make it just like, it was no longer using the shock or the spring, it was just basically on a steel rod. And so yeah, that was really screwing us pretty bad. And because there's not a crazy amount of separation in the suspension the way it's currently set up, so the less power we gave it, the more it was inclined to squat and then hit the rod and then basically just blow the tires off. So the fact that we were trying to take out power was actually making this problem worse. On previous passes, we knew we had a good track, and so we put a decent amount of power in it, and so I think it was able to, instead of having any squat at all, even directly off the hit, it would separate, and so it probably wasn't hitting it. That, or the surface was just probably so sticky in previous testing that it was able to get out past that moment where we were basically slamming it on a metal rod. And then the suspension did its work and separated down track. 2, 3. So with all that failure in testing, we didn't have very high hopes for the next elimination round, but we made some changes and tried to take out even more power, made some suspension changes, and gave it a swing here. But keep an eye on the in-car footage on this one. We asked Crabtree after this pass if there was anything, you know, notable or special about the pass. We were still trying to figure out why it was just continuing to spin. He didn't say anything. He's like, no, I mean, it spun, but nothing special. Check out what he neglected to mention. Thank God that car goes straight. Yeah, pretty frustrating, dumb issue to have, but you know, these things happen, and I'm glad we identified it. We looked under the car right as we were about to load it up and just, you know, completely deflated and frustrated with how the day went. And we saw these gnarly dents and marks where the arms were. And, you know, Nick called it. He was like, wait, take a look at these arms. And yeah, sure enough, that's what it was. So that yielded what we struggled with here.